Welcome to VHS Sisters, a nostalgic movie podcast with two actual real-life sisters. Get into some jammies, grab your favorite beverage, and come hang out with us as I force my little sister to watch all of the movies that she missed growing up. Let's rip it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to VHS Sisters. We are two sisters. I'm Seisha.
I'm Melanie.
And we're here to talk about movies today. And those of you just tuning in, the whole idea behind this pod is me, the older sister, born in 1980. I'm introducing movies that my little sister, who was born in 92, has never seen before. And also, I'm rewatching old childhood favorites, seeing if these movies that meant so much to me when I was a child, if they're actually good or not. Or are we all just lost in a sea of nostalgia because current day life kind of fucking sucks?
You know, let's just go back. Like if we had to pick a year to go back to, granted, like, would it be where I'm 33 currently in the year of what, like 99? Would that be a good, I'm trying to think, well, what year would we go back to?
I mean, I think people are we should talk about it a little bit because most of the movies that we're going to cover are in the 80s and 90s because that was the time we grew up. I just want to brush on this really quick too, because people are always like, well, I'm a 90s baby. And you realize that they were born in 1998. And I'm like, girl.
Like, you don't have a core memory that's not from like 2004.
Right.
And you don't remember shit.
You don't remember any, right. Like in the night, whatever. I don't want to gatekeep a whole decade. I don't own it any more than anybody else does, but I just think that's interesting because people, who are born in like, even like 95, 96, they're like, yeah, I'm a 90s baby. And I'm like, okay, so you remember like what, Barney? Like, what do you remember? I don't know.
Barney.
Yeah. Do you identify as a 90s baby?
I would say I do, probably because of being born in 92. I had a good 8 years of 90s experience. Probably 3 of which I have no core memories from. But I would say that I would consider myself a 90s baby. I think that I relate to a lot of movies that came out in, like, I'd say the early 90s, mid 90s. Like 1997 was an excellent year,
Sure. So you have positive memories of the 90s.
I think it was like peak childhood, because we were just getting into like, everybody had a personal computer at home, right? Like the internet was new-ish and more accessible. Right. Like I think the first operating system I ever used was Windows 95, and like fell in love with technology and but also like loved things that felt really cozy and like what people would put on their Pinterest board nowadays for like what like a 90s aesthetic would be, like that reminds me of like my childhood.
So you look back at the 90s and you feel comfort and coziness. Like you remember Encarta on the family computer, right? Do you remember that? Like the
before was Encarta?
Encarta was like, so Encarta was, you have to look it up, and it's like that scholastic. It's that scholastic aesthetic that people keep talking about.
Oh, maybe so. Yeah, let me see.
So Encarta was the thing that we had before we had Wikipedia, which is pulled up for me right now before we get into this film.
Oh yeah.
You're looking at it. You recognize it.
I do a little bit. Yes. Now that I'm looking at like a certain image, I'm like, okay, it's like with like a head that's
exploding
like
with knowledge.
Film, exploding with knowledge. There's Nelson Mandela. There's a spaceship. There's a girl doing track and field, and like a Mona Lisa.
That's all the 90s was.
Yeah,
girls doing track and field. Nelson Mandela.
Dolphins.
Sure, classic.
Yeah, planets, dinosaurs. I felt like there was a lot of like exploratory like themes. Like everybody wanted to like get out in nature Everybody wanted to like save the extinct animals. We were finding out more about dinosaurs. Like it was a very exciting time.
Yeah, see, they told us, back in the day, they're like, well, we could take steps now to save the earth if we like do things like conserve water and recycle, but you were considered sort of like a lefty freak. I mean, I guess you still are.
Yeah, I
and
am.
to think that, yeah, we could have changed so much back then if we had just
It was a time of hope and like new ideas. All the way up till like 2012, you know?
And then, oh wait, in 2012 was the year everything went sour.
And well, wasn't that supposed to be like the Mayan calendar ending was 2012, I think.
Whoa, I get, yeah, that's, yeah, 2012. The Canadian band Rush did a whole album. 2112. That was 2112. It was a little different. But yeah, I mean, year 2000, all of our computers were supposed to take over and murder us. So sorry that didn't happen.
Yeah, it still will, but just not, not as soon as we had hoped.
So when you think of the 90s, you definitely do not think of the 1990 film, the film that was made in the very first year of that wonderful decade. The Nicholas Roeg movie, The Witches.
It somehow missed me.
Insane.
I know
that it missed you.
Like maybe I had to have seen it as a kid at least like once. I'm not exactly sure where. Probably our aunt's house.
I mean, it's okay if you didn't see it. That's the whole point of this pod. Like you're getting fresh eyes on it.
But yeah, like I mean, it was definitely worth a rewatch because like part of me remembers like what Angelica Houston's character, like what she looks like, but I didn't really remember the rest of the movie. So it was basically an entirely new movie for me at this point. So,
well, we can just get into it because I do think that's the strongest. Like, I mean, she is iconic, right? Angelica Houston as the Grand High Witch, and we can get more into like how she, like her experience on the film, which I do know a lot about.
I can't wait to hear.
But she, yeah, I mean, just gorgeous and is like plays this classic hag character. So yeah, if you hadn't seen the movie, you would have seen maybe her image on the VHS box,
right?
Or maybe a little snippet of a commercial on the Disney Channel, but you never like you never read the book. First of all, let's talk about that. I have
not read the book. No.
You never read the book by Roald Dahl, who also wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Correct. Matilda, right?
Matilda. Yep. Same author. And the book, and we can get into this later when we talk about this movie's ending. The book is much darker and sinister.
Well,
I can't wait to talk about. Whereas like this was a Jim Henson production movie, and this was Jim Henson's last film that he worked on before he died.
Really?
And he made some very significant tonal changes because I didn't think he didn't think it was appropriate that it was such a downer movie. And I don't know if he was just like going through his own stuff, but yeah, Roald Dahl, the author of the book, was so angry at how they changed his story that he wanted his name completely wiped off the credits. And Jim Henson had to get on the horn with him and be like, "Hey, Roald Dahl, can you just like chill on this, because it's really important to us that your name is on the credits, because you did write this book, and I'm sorry about the ending, but I could not end it the way you wanted to end the story." So that's a little trivia about it. But yeah, it is let's just get into it. So yeah, watching it, what were your general impressions? You don't have to say if you liked it or not, but how was your watching experience overall?
Well, watching it, I did feel those cozy, nostalgic, true 90s vibes. All of the set design, I think, was done very well. Like it made me really immersed. They kind of start out like the grandma, she's like telling the story. So like you're looking at all the scenery, you're hearing the story, you're like, you know, it's getting you like right into it.
Yeah, the opening credits, I have to say, are bonkers. Like the way the titles fly at you. And it was funny, like Ryan and I were sitting and watching it last night,
like
and I was like,
Goosebumps font almost.
Goosebumps font, and also like it's like the Shining opening, but like super fast. So I don't know if the director wanted to do that on purpose. And it's like quick, like mountains coming at you, giving you this sense of excitement, and then all of a sudden we're in Scandinavia.
We're in Norway.
We're in Norway instantly, and I was like,
can't wait to live there. It looks so beautiful.
Oh right, yeah, all those like flaxen-haired children in their little sweaters,
and the peaked like different style of roof, like houses, and the multicolor homes, and
so
the cobblestone streets. I'm just like, you know, this is lovely,
cozy. Yeah, and Roald Dahl, the author of the book, based all of that lore on his grandparents who were from Scandinavia. He was a British kid raised in the UK, and then he would like every summer, his biography is really interesting. It's called Boy, and every summer he would go and spend like the whole summer with his Scandinavian grandparents, which like sounds like heaven, right?
Yeah, or hell.
I think he had a lot of affection for that area, so he wrote it into this book, or sorry, he wrote it into his book, which, that hot open is so crazy. It's like, I think that is the scariest part of the movie, is the fable that they tell you in the beginning. With the painting. With the girl getting stuck in the painting. I was like, this is dark. And she's stuck in the painting, and
the fact that she grows old in the painting is hella creepy.
Yeah.
Like this was a really good like Halloween sort of like spooky time movie, because I felt kind of creeped out throughout the whole thing, but like in a good way. In an enjoyable way. I want to say that it felt like I was able to go into like almost like my own imagination, like my own inner child's imagination, and see this movie for the first time, which was wonderful. Whoa. So that's why I'm happy that we're able to review this one.
Okay. Because I was watching it and I was like, all right, I have some notes. And I think, again, this movie came out in 1990, and I think it would have like hit the US market like a little after that. So I would have been like 10 or 11. And like the perfect age to really eat this up in the book first and then watch the movie. Yeah, I think all of the like that opening stuff is so great. And one thing I thought too, I was like, after, they it's a pretty hot open, right? Like she's giving us all the witch lore, and she tells us like right away, we know what's going to happen, right? Witches, what are witches? Witches are ugly. Witches are bald.
They got square feet.
They got square feet. Apparently wig caps don't exist in this universe.
No.
Because all of them have itchy scalps.
Yeah, and I was like, wigs.
And I was like, girl, put a wig cap on.
Get some baby powder on that scalp.
For real though. Yeah, no, you have to glue that down. And they're just ripping their
wig.
Powder that wig. They just did not have the technology back then. It was like a little shake and go right on their bare scalp. They got like long crusty nails. Yeah, no, witches are ugly, and they don't like kids because they stink like dog shit.
Which I love. And like, if you don't, you smell better to them, or like it's better if you don't shower because they can't smell you being a child. Like you have a heightened scent when you're clean.
Right. I think like the author Roald Dahl was like so tuned into like how kids think and what kids want. And like, I don't know. I mean, I was I love taking a shower every day. Apparently there's some kids who like don't want to bathe.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like,
not me.
Not me. Yeah. Not in our family. We were clean teens. Yeah. No, we understand hygiene. And like, apparently Roald Dahl was like, yeah, no, I don't want to shower. So let's just write this in the book. That it's actually better. It's actually better if you don't. So a witch can't smell you.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I obviously didn't read his book, but I may check it out. It's like, I wonder if maybe growing up with his grandparents during the summers, like if it's rural Scandinavia, maybe they didn't have heated water for showers. So like kids didn't want to necessarily get super cold. That
Yeah,
could be.
absolutely. Going back to the topic of what's the conservation,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta save that water. There's only so much of it to go
Yes, you do.
around. I just love the conceit that like if you see a woman in sensible shoes, she's a witch. I was like, she prioritizes comfort. She's a witch.
Yo, she's got them New Balances on. She's a witch.
She got Crocs on. I mean, I get a lot of Croc hate, and I am a Croc lover. I'm all about that comfort.
I am a
So
converted Croc lover as well. So
it's just like, why? Like,
just call me a
why?
witch. It's fine.
That's no. It's so funny you say that because in the first part of the movie, when they're introducing the Scandinavian witch who's like looking at the girl she's going to put in the painting, and
Mhm.
she's like standing by the window and stroking her black cat. I said to Ryan, I'm like, that's just me. Every witch on screen, I was like, that's me. That's me. That's just me.
That's
Yeah,
just me now. Yeah.
this is me now. Yeah, that's fine. That's a normal day. She's like chilling by the window with her cat, and
Mhm.
there's a toad on the table, and I'm like,
Mhm.
honestly, work.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, this house is nice.
I love it.
I would live here. 10 out of 10.
Oh, and speaking of houses, so yeah, hot open. She tells us all about the witch stuff, and then instantly dead parents.
Yeah. Come on, trauma.
Come on, trauma. Also, like a classic thing that you do in any book. Like if you want the character to go on an adventure, you kill off the parents
Mhm.
because, like, why would somebody with a stable home life want to go on an adventure?
Right.
These bad things happen to you, so you can push the plot forward. So it does. That happens. This boy, Luke, his
Mhm.
parents die. Grandmother has a house in England, and it's super nice. And I was like, whoa, grandma's loaded.
Yeah. To stay with her.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he did. Like, they're going from the house in Scandinavia, I'm sorry, Norway, to the UK, and they have just two big houses. I'm like, what did grandma do? Did she like fall into some money? Like,
Yeah, she probably had a rich husband.
probably. Yeah, and grandma's cool and she smokes cigars and she's
Which is
down.
gross. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, no. I was like, I think that was just something like threw in there to be like, oh, she thinks outside the box.
She's a little kooky.
She's not like a regular grandma. She's a cool grandma.
She's blunts.
Yeah, she's smoking those Swisher sweets.
In bed.
Yeah, no, grandma.
Comforter all the way up.
She doesn't care about setting herself on fire.
No.
Yeah, what did you think of like the depiction of witches and like specifically like that first interaction with like Luke and that witch who sees him in the treehouse?
I definitely felt a little scared, I would say. Like,
Whoa, this movie scared you?
Not like in a deep-seated, like deep-rooted fear kind of way, but I was like, oh, like she needs to just go away. She's creepy. Like, she's trying to like convince him, like with everything she's got in her bag. She's like, okay, I've got a snake, I've got candy, I got this. Like, trying to convince this boy to come down. It felt obviously, which it was very predatory. I could bring this up later too, but I just might as well bring it up now. But it's like, I think there had to have been a count of like over 100 times that this kid said grandma in the film.
Oh my God. I was waiting for you to say grandma.
Grandma. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, let's just say I'm not a big fan of this kid who plays Luke. I don't think he did a very good. I mean, whatever. Sorry if you're listening.
Sorry if you're listening, sir.
Sir, I think that they just got a kid who they thought looked cute. Mm-hmm. And being a child actor, it's really hard to find child actors who can just react and not like overact. But it was just sort of like, he just didn't have the juice. There's no Macaulay. It's like they wanted Macaulay Culkin. Mm-hmm. You can see it in his type.
But he was booked.
He was booked and busy.
Yeah.
Macaulay was good. I don't know. I have to
like. He didn't even get his brother.
Yeah, I'll have to DM Macaulay because he's on social media. So, he's on Instagram. I'll be like, I was like, yo, Culkin.
Yo, what's going on? Why didn't you do this movie? You've been perfect.
Why didn't you read for Luke?
I wasn't like overly like thrown off by his performance. I think I was just like kind of experiencing the world through his lens, which wasn't like super direct or descriptive in like any means. So it was just kind of like, okay, I'm just feeling this as myself, but like,
right. And I feel like I was going to bring this up later, but I feel like both Luke and the grandma don't have like a super strong character arc. They're just kind of like the same. Luke doesn't really like, as a writer, I would be like, okay, Luke is a really, like, his journey is going from being like a scared boy, like, what would happen like if your parents died, right? And I feel like you would become like super anxious and fearful and like unsure about the world. And then later in the movie, after he meets the witches, like something really bad happens to him. And then he has to kind of like rise above. And that's the thing, like when that happens later in the movie and you see him like being sort of like in charge and really brave, the grandma character who you thought was like super cool in the beginning, she kind of gets like weak and passive. I don't know. That was my general
her diabetes.
Thing. It's the oh my God. Yeah. It's the diabetes. It's the diabetes.
It's like terrifying also. Like the kid loses his parents and then grandma's fucking passed out in the bed because she's like low sugar.
Right. And the doctor, the British lady doctor who's there is just like, oh, your grandmother has just a touch of the diabetes. I was like, is that possible?
Right. Like,
can you have it's like having a touch of cancer. Like, that's not how, I mean, I guess, there are levels to it, but it's like, what, I guess, like, okay, just a little diabetes. Just
assuming
a
it's type 2,
just a soupçon. Yeah. And then she's like, yeah, you can't have sugar. You can't have this or that. And she's like still smoking a cigar in bed. And I was like, you are this child's only family. Like,
yeah, you need to get it together, lady. Like, if you can't take care of your one family member, then what can you do?
If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I loved the scenery going from grandma's house was gorgeous. Why did they have to go to, which would be probably like the next couple scenes later, but like the hotel? Like what did they have to go there for? I forget.
So that's the whole thing. So she is now the sole caretaker of Luke. She has a birthday for him, collapses at the birthday party. It's like, oops, I got diabetes. And the doctor's like, these are the solutions to diabetes. You can't have any sugar. And also you need to have a holiday by the seaside. That is the cure.
Totally missed that one. Yeah. Okay.
Which is insane because like that's something that they used to tell people back in the Victorian era. That's why a lot of those seaside hotels, especially in Britain, exist because I mean, it was like COVID back in the day. And they're like, what you need is some good, strong sea air in your lungs. They'd wheel people out and
the spores.
There's exactly this. Oh, we should talk about The Secret Garden.
It will happen. And I love that movie. So it's not going to be like a new movie, but we'll revisit 100%.
I would just revisit that because that's a movie right there.
That's a movie. I mean, this one was good though. It was fun. I liked it, my opinion, but I thought I missed out,
Yeah, I was shocked that you hadn't seen it. And I was also rewatching it, I was like, wow, this is so dark. And the fact that like it was edited to be less dark, it still comes across as very scary and intense. I could imagine like being 6 years old and being like, oh my God, like I don't want to look at any woman ever.
Old creepy, like these spinster women.
I was taught to fear unmarried independent women. a lot of good that did me.
Right, exactly.
So the hotel, which I forgot to look up, but I assume it's like, I know it's in Cornwall, it's in south of England.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like a real place that you could probably still go to. And I was loving it. I love the hotel vibes. I love that carpet. I love all the decor. It's very late 80s, early 90s ugly, but like in a cool way.
Very comforting to me. Like
right.
It seems like, I mean, granted, our family wasn't like, we were very much middle class, like if not lower middle class. But so it's like to see like these ornate like tablescapes and the chandeliers and like the thick curtains, and I'm just like, wow, this is fancy.
I would love, I mean, I feel like a holiday by the sea would really fix it all for me.
Yeah. I'm down to go. Let's go.
I think it would make me feel so much better. We can find that hotel. We can go. We'll do it as research. Yeah, so love the hotel, love that whole sitting. Okay, I looked it up while you were talking. It is an actual hotel in Cornwall, England. And the website, you got to look it up later. They have completely, how do I want to say, the design. There's like a witch on the first thing you click. It's like they're marketing it.
Oh, they leaned into it.
They leaned in. They leaned in. They're like, yep, that's called the Headland. And they do weddings and events. They have a spa. It's called the Witches Hotel, and there's like little witches and bats all over the websites.
Oh my gosh, sounds fun.
Wait, I'm gonna send
okay, this is the reason we're doing this podcast, so we can afford to go on vacation.
That's right. We're gonna take all this. Oh, by the way, people who need like ad said, I'll sell anything.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't care.
Anything.
I don't care.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff I do like and do stand behind, so just hit me up. But
yeah, we gotta go to the Headland. This is so nice. I love it. It's like you go on the website and it's like, although it was released 30 years ago, the Witches movie is still popular today, despite a few spooky scenes. It's rated PG and a movie for the family. You can rent or buy it on Prime Video. You got a little Amazon plug in there too.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow. I love that they just like went full in. Like there's no like need to preserve any like other history that may have taken place at the hotel. It's just like, you know what? This movie, we're in it.
Apparently it's been a hotel for 125 years. That's pretty good. Oh, it says join the team. We could get jobs there.
Okay. That's cool. I could do that.
Then we get our work visas and then we're out of here.
We're out here. And speaking of work visas and visas in general and wanting to go to Germany, like we mentioned in the never ending story version of this episode, I would say, of this podcast. But Angelica Houston's character, I wasn't sure like which type of European she was at first. I was like, is she French? Is she this? And then like later on, it's more like obviously she's speaking German. And
well, her name I don't think that they mentioned this in the book, but in the movie, they name her Eva Ernst, which is Ernst is very German, I feel. And I feel like she's kind of leaning into a German, like a German Nazi kind of. She's kind of
but she's got Louis Vuitton trunk luggage. I clocked that.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, she's a woman of fashion and taste. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Angelica Houston, this is another fun movie trivia that I know. At the time she was with Jack Nicholson. Oh. And apparently he would send flowers and like gifts to the hotel all the time because she was staying there while they were shooting. And apparently she was having a really bad time because she had to sit for 6 hours.
Oh, and
that's actually her.
That's what I was going to ask too. So like, okay, so we're in this, the grandma and boy gets to the hotel for their vacation. It just also happens to be like the witch convention of England. Yeah. Like all of England is taking place.
Yep.
They have to make sure they have a secure presentation room so they can, unveil their newest plan. And I love the diversity of the witches in the crowd. We had like I'm not going to say every, but, pretty diverse cast, like as far as the English witches. So I did appreciate that.
Right. Yeah. They weren't all like typical, like white lady witches. It was diverse. There was like a witch in a sari. Yeah. Love that.
Couple in saris. There's like other sort of like, a lot of them came in like the fashion just looked very business forward, Yeah,
they're all women of business. I don't know if you noticed this, but a lot of the witches, especially towards the back, were just men in wigs.
Oh, really? I did not notice.
You have to I was gonna say, like, if you rented it, rewatch.
I will rewatch it.
And clock, like, especially when they're like doing all the crowd reacts when the Grand High Witch is having her big monologue. You're like, oh, that's a guy. Oh. In a wig.
Oh, that's a man.
Oh, that's a man, baby. And it's great. Yeah, there are like a lot of little
you just treasures. It's like the sound design people, probably like everybody on set, just like, hey, grab a wig. You're sitting in the back.
We got to fill this out because at one point Luke has a line in this later in the movie. He's like, oh my God, there's witches in this hotel. There's hundreds of them. And I'm like, know if there's hundreds of them, but
maybe
there's
800.
There's maybe
like 80.
80. Yeah, I was gonna say it's exaggerating a little bit, Luke.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. So
Like, come on, 6-year-old, get it together.
Yeah, I have to imagine he's like 10, right? I don't know how old kids are. I feel like 10 or 11.
Like 8. He seemed like 8.
A little younger. Yeah. Yeah, because he was a little bit babyish, the way he was crying for his grandma. Yeah.
I mean, part of it, I was like, oh, he's cute. You know, like that's so cute. Especially like later in the movie.
After the 100th grandma, though, you're like,
I was like,
pipe down.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's got about 3 lines in this movie, and one of them is grandma.
I feel like, this is a good time to bring up too. Like at the hotel, we meet a whole cast of characters. Did you
star-studded cast?
Star-studded, yes. I want you to tell me what British actors. This is some on the spot trivia.
And I'm not great with actor names, unlike everyone else in my entire family. But
tell me where you recognize them from.
Well, I know Mr. Carson from Downton Abbey was the chef.
Yes.
Looking tall and lean. I was like, honestly, would.
Honestly, still would.
Would. 100%. And then Mr. Bean, of course.
Of course, yeah. He's fantastic in this movie.
And I recognized as like the assistant to the Grand High Witch was actually Bubble from Absolutely Fabulous.
I was waiting for you to I was like, does she know Absolutely Fabulous? Yes, she was. She was raised right.
I just love it so much.
Yeah,
it's Bubble. She's in there.
She's incredible. Yeah, that's Jane Horrocks. And she's incredible, like her whole body of work, movies, plays. She's done it all. Anyone?
And I thought for sure, like, and I think I was wrong. I did Google it last night, but I thought that the mom of the other boy,
Bruno Jenkins.
I thought Bruno's mom was Aunt Petunia. Is that what her? Yeah, from Harry Potter.
That's so funny. Like she has sort of. So I'm going to tell you who she is in a second, and you're going to kick yourself. But she Ryan was like, is that the lady who worked the front desk in Home Alone 2? And I was like, no, that's a completely different person. She's also not. Yeah, you thought that she was Aunt Petunia, who is Fiona Shaw, and she's like her own. She's also an incredible actress. No, the person who plays the woman who plays Bruno's mother is Brenda Blethyn, who was also the mother in the 2005 version of Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Do you see it now?
Yep, I do.
Yeah,
I definitely do.
She's stunning. I mean, like she's done so much stuff. She was in a movie called Secrets and Lies. She got nominated for an Oscar. Like she's just like a sleeper actress. She's been like in so much stuff. She is so talented. And it's like, oh, look, there she is back in 1990, just gigging like in this little part.
Screaming at rats.
She's screaming at little rats and mice. Yeah, that was funny. I was like, all these mice are so big. Are they rats or are they mice?
I think they're mice. I mean, maybe they're rats. I think they're rats because they've got like some of them have like a little bit thicker tails. They're just domesticated rats, though.
They're the nice kind of rat.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
in the
all
beginning
rats are
they
nice.
mentioned like, there's a rat problem here, and of course he brings his 2 pet mice with him. And
William and Mary.
I'm like, how is this going to tie into anything? And boy, did I not realize.
Oh boy, it did. Yeah. So So we get to the hotel. There's the witches, and then the big twist. It's not even a twist. It just happens.
Yeah, it's like she's marketing her new potion, saying that there's 500 doses in this one bottle.
Right. And
I can turn anyone into a rat.
She can turn
especially children.
Right. Well, she like it's a part of her great plot, because I just love how disappointed she is with all of the witches when she gets there. It's like, first of all, the fact that they're having a witch convention at a public hotel is insane. And the fact that they didn't just like choose a remote location, it's like, no, we want comfort. We want catered events,
amenities.
We want to right. These witches, they want to be comfortable. They got their square-toed shoes. they're here to get some
3-star
nice,
hotels minimum, you know.
absolutely. We've got some soups and canapes and high tea. You know that they had high. Oh, I bet the high tea at that hotel
Probably
IRL
rocks, yeah.
probably fucking rocks. And we got to do that. All right, I'm excited. This pod's getting me excited about vacations.
Yeah, I know.
And trips. I think UK trip. Yeah, UK trip 2026. I'm writing it down on a piece of paper.
On the manifestation board.
That's it. It's got to happen. We got to go to this hotel. Yeah, so their big plot is the witch is so disappointed. The Grand High Witch is so disappointed, and she's just like over it. And I love her attitude. I also love, I mean, you can tell me your impressions about like her. I really want to talk about her as a character.
The practical effects that they had, the fact that she, like you mentioned, sat for 6 hours for that whole entire getup is crazy, and it looked incredible.
6 hours to put on and 6 hours to take off. So they must have had maybe, I don't know, maybe shooting for a couple hours. That's like a full, I mean, multiple days, like getting the appliances on and off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long, what the shooting schedule looked like, but apparently she was like having a nervous breakdown and crying. And like really upset. And I was just like, girl, the sacrifice you made for your art, like good for you. Yeah, no, it's really her. Cause I feel like that is something that they could have just piped her voice in and just had like, I don't know, Frank Oz or somebody do it. Like a right. Muppet guy get in there and do it. But no, she like, those are her eyes behind the prosthetics. Like when she peels her face back, there's that scene where like, she's got like the Angelica Houston face on for a second, and then they have to help her peel it off. And then she's just like the epitome of a hag.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you know anything about like folklore, Dungeons and Dragons.
She looks like a Baldur's Gate 3 with the hag.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's a very like
Auntie Ethel. That's her bestie.
She's that they were totally besties. Yeah, like that hump on the back is so gross too. It's like they really did it. Like it's not just the face appliance; it's like full body.
And I love how she, obviously being the Grand Witch, like in both her witch form, her hag form, and her like human form, both are very, I would say, glamorous or like very true to the character, like just so grotesque but also so beautiful. Very boss energy. Like she is, you know, she's dining at the Ritz next week, you know, she needs to like hurry up and get this little convention over. She's got to go deal with the French witches and like, you know.
Yeah, she's the way, like, I think from the moment she's on screen to like the end, you know, when she's eventually defeated, she's carrying herself like an icon. And it is like a 5-star performance. I feel it's really like her.
The voice acting too. Like I didn't even really think that was her.
Oh, you mean when she's in like her full hag form? No, that was all her. I don't know if they like manipulated it a little bit. I did notice that there was a lot of ADR in the movie. Like it seems like some actors, like especially in the beginning, I don't know, the parents of Luke were a little weird. I was like, did they just like tape over their voices, or was it weird? Because it was like, it seems like a kind of production, like it was partially shot in the UK, maybe partially shot in Norway. Like, did it just not like go off? Like did it not sound how they wanted it to sound?
Maybe.
But I don't know. Angelica Houston, yeah, no, she did it all. It's really truly a tour de force, and I can't even imagine like shooting that whole monologue that she does, like how hot that must have been, like underneath all that latex. It's
horrible.
It was wild.
It's my worst nightmare.
So yeah, it's so funny too, because like she has, in efforts to show the other witches how effective her potion is, she rigs it up so this little chunky boy named Bruno, who Luke has met earlier, who's just like when you meet him on initial meeting, like, oh, this kid is the worst. So like when he turns into a mouse, you don't feel so bad, I feel.
No, not necessarily. He kind of gave me a little bit of like Ron Weasley vibes, because in that movie, the way they had it, where it's like he was on the train just shoving his face full of food and like talking.
Right. Yeah.
Reminded me of that.
He comes off a little crass.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're trying to sell. Yeah, I guess he's like the funny line that Bruno says, like he meets Luke, he's like picking all these raisins off the biscuits, and the high that those must be the biscuits for the high tea
Yeah.
that we're that we're going to do. But he's like, my father's rich, but he's very tight. And I was like, I was like, what a thing for a kid to say. Like, yeah, my father's loaded.
But he's just hearing his mom talk, you know?
Yeah. No, that's a good little catch there. Also, I don't know. Have you seen Fleabag yet?
No.
Bruno Jenkson's father is the father in Fleabag. I don't know. Whatever. He's great. He's also great. Like all these little stars in here, where it's like you're just like, oh wow, this person has had a career.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Bruno gets turned into a mouse, and Luke gets caught later because he's one of the witches smelled him. It's like it's such a great scene too, because it's like you think he's gonna get away, and then it's like, nah, you're gonna be a mouse too. So like, tell me, like, what did you feel about? I'm curious to know, like, what did you feel about those mouse transformation scenes, and then
Horrifying,
what happens,
grotesque,
and then what happens when they become mice? Like, what was your impression of that?
I was like, okay, this is gross. This is like very. I didn't like how they were like shaking so violently with these like prosthetics on.
Right.
I don't. It was a little bit terrifying. I was relieved to see them as the talking mice, which obviously like their animal handling team, like the mouse actors, like the actual ones that were like doing, they had like climbing throughout the scenes and stuff. Very talented mouse actors in this movie. I wonder if they're still alive.
Oh, those mouse are definitely dead.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about the lifespan of mice
Yeah.
later. But yeah, I think a lot of great mouse work, like real live mouse work. What did you think of the mouse puppets that did all the talking?
And like I kind of thought they were cute. Like,
yeah, no, I thought they were so cute. Right.
I was like, oh my God. Like, that's when I tuned in, like, for real. I mean, like, obviously, like, with the witches, like, I loved watching them. But as far as like the little boy's story, like him turning into the mouse, I'm like, okay, finally, we're going somewhere.
Right. Yeah, the big thing finally happened. I forgot that they turned into puppet mice. And I was like, oh my fucking God, this is like Jim Henson artistry at its finest. The little like eyes, the way their mouths moved.
Yeah, they talk, little expressions, and they're just so cute.
They were so cute. And I was like, are they in a box somewhere in some Muppet workshop somewhere? Because I'm like, we got to bring these mice back. They're so cute.
Adorable. Yeah, that was like, okay, so when the little mouse is saying grandma, I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute.
Yeah, no, that it hits different. It's funny though, because yeah, so going back to like the character arc stuff, this is like where I was marveling at how cute the mice were, and I was like, oh, Bruno's so much cuter as a mouse. I was like, I love him. He's upgraded, honestly.
Yeah. He's living his fantasy because now he can eat like more by eating less.
Right. Yeah, no, he's not he can reduce a little bit. With Luke, it's weird because at no point is he scared. At no point is he like, what the fuck? I'm a mouse now. He just instantly accepts it and is like, okay, let's go. And we got to do this, and this. And I was just like, okay, Luke. It's just clearly like he's pulling you along in the story. But,
yeah.
And then like instantly knows how to like the plot, right? He's got ideas, and he goes to find his grandma again. And he's like, look, grandma, we got to do this, that, and the other. He's a little schemer and a dreamer. And I was like, what is it? Where did this come from? So my thing is like with a lot of these scripts, especially children's script, I mean, you can't like get super deep. This is me being picky about movies, is like, I have to feel like the character has kind of earned it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, where did all this bravery come from? Okay, you're a mouse, and now you're just instantly like brave and can face everything. I don't know. Maybe at that point he was just like, screw it.
Well, and I kind of like wondered too, maybe that was like an editing thing, because he had received those his two mice, which one was named Mary, and I forget the other one's name.
Well, it's William and Mary.
William and Mary mouse. He received them as a gift and was fascinated with them and like would build them little, like, it looks like obstacle courses.
Right.
And I want to know like what significance, like, for him, like maybe he really jumped right into action because he loved mice pets so much. Obviously, he took them to the hotel with him. And I just want to know, like, what is the connection there?
I don't know. I could, like what's the like what is the connection?
What made him, like, I guess I don't know, like he brought them with them, but they didn't really have a point. He was like, oh, like they can't hear me, like they were just like, they're actually mice versus like being a child mouse.
Oh, I understand. Well, maybe it was just sort of like, I don't know if the mice were like a metaphor.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, is there something that I'm missing? But maybe that was an editing thing.
No, I think, well, yeah, because he meets his pet mice in his mouse form and then he can talk, but they can't. And he's like, oh, I guess mice can't talk.
He's like, okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Yeah, totally. It does seem like a little abrupt. It would be, I'm like, I wonder if maybe they had explored that. It's like, maybe he can talk to his mice. Maybe his mice tell him what to do and he learns how to be a mice through his mice. I think, do you know what I'm saying?
Or maybe it's because in the beginning, like the issue with the hotel manager, being like, oh, you have a rat problem. And he's like, oh, well, my mice aren't the problem. Like, whatever, like kind of setting it up. Like they do have there's like a threat of taking them away or like a threat of danger for being a small creature in this hotel. Obviously they start setting traps and things like that.
Yeah, there's never any follow through with the trap stuff. I feel like something just sparked in my mind. And it's like, what if Bruno and Luke get turned into mice and then they meet William and Mary and they talk and they're like, hey, you're a mouse now. We're going to show you how to be mice. And then pulls them into an underground network of rats and mice that are living under the hotel. So it's basically Secret of NIMH.
Yeah.
It's that other mouse movie that I made you watch.
Did we watch Secret of NIMH?
Remember?
I don't think I watched that.
I mean, I must have put it on late one night when you were staying over, because I do distinctly remember you saying to me, hey, let's put that mouse movie on. That's how you referred to Secret of NIMH, one of my most beloved movies from childhood, which we should honestly cover on this pod too.
We can.
And you referred to Secret of NIMH, one of my favorite movies of all time, as that mouse movie. And honestly, it was upsetting and hurtful to hear that. It was upsetting and hurtful.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So I, in my mind, I was doing sort of like I was crossing over plots. I was like, oh, right. Like, and then you could take the underground network of mice to defeat the witches.
That's kind of what I was thinking. But then he was just like, okay, bye. And just kept pushing.
Right. Like Luke has this like main character. What is it? Main character syndrome. That's like, it's just not interesting. Like, what's the more interesting thing? Like, why didn't he work with Bruno and they worked together to poison the soup for the witches at the end?
Bruno was too hungry.
I guess. I don't know. I just think it, like, there was a lot of missed opportunity there. Mm-hmm. And it would have been, I don't know. I think it's always more interesting when people learn how to work as a team, but that's just how, like, I think and I write, instead of just somebody barreling forward and being like, I'm going to save the day. Blah, blah, blah. But I guess, like, as a kid reading or watching this, you're like, I can be brave too.
Yeah.
Even if I'm a mouse.
Such a cute little puppet mouse.
That was the best part for me. I think, the witch makeup, the mouse puppet. I just wrote in my notes, I was like, the mouse puppet in all caps. Also, like, before he gets caught and turned into a mouse, I just have to say this crazy that when all the witches are chasing Luke around the hotel, literally no adult intervenes. Literally, there's no help from anyone. Like, wouldn't, if you saw like a bunch of,
when they're like running outside and stuff.
Right. And it's like, also, Luke, why wouldn't you go to the front desk and be like, hey, these women are bothering me? Like, you don't even have to say that they're witches. I mean, I guess you could. Maybe he didn't want people to think he was crazy, but you could also just say, like, hey, these women are like attacking me. Can you, like, I don't know. I guess it would have ruined the plot of the movie, because then he wouldn't have got changed into a mouse. Also, I don't think that sequence is in the book at all. I think they just catch him in the convention room and that's it. Mm-hmm. So maybe that was just to like pad out the time a little bit. That's kind of how it feels.
Give the threat of like another baby being like ended, essentially, like rolling down the hill in the stroller.
Right. I was like, yeah, push that baby in the sea.
My God.
Whatever. You left it there.
I know. Well, she's taking a nap. The mom was taking a nap with her kid in the stroller on the top of a hill. It just seems
that's not a great place to sleep.
Yeah,
she should have known better.
101.
That's what. Yeah, don't take a nap right on a seaside cliff
with your kid
in Cornwall, England, with your kid right there.
Jeez.
Yeah, so he eventually gets turned into a mouse. He's super brave. We get the idea that the assistant, who is played by Jane Horrocks, the blonde assistant, she's been catering to the Grand High Witch and all the witches, and she's put upon, and she's tired. And like at the very end, when Luke is about to give the mouse formula to all the witches in their soup that's made specially for them, the Grand High Witch is like, hey, assistant. I don't even think she has a name in the movie.
Yeah.
What is her character name? She's just like, yeah, you have to go upstairs and like do something else. You can't sit here. You can't sit with us, basically. And Jane Horrocks' character is like, I quit. And then she goes to the hotel room. And so she's not turned into a mouse, but literally all the other witches are. And I have to say, how did they get all those mice extras in that dining room is my main question.
I feel like animals had to have been harmed in this production.
I know, and it makes me sad. I saw them like hitting, like, so all the witches get turned into mice, and so there's literally like 100 mice in this dining room getting like slapped and stomped on and like
thrown, and
I was just like, where was the, I don't know, PETA?
Yeah, where was PETA, OSHA for mice,
OSHA, the ASPCA?
Somebody step in.
I was just looking at these mice and I was like, oh no, I know one of them got stomped on by accident, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
That's a wild scene when there's a lot of crazy mouse prosthetics and
oh, and then of course the Grand High Witch like turning into a hairless mouse. But of course, like, as a terrifying puppet.
A hairless mouse. Yeah, she looks more ratty. Like when she's transforming, I was like, oh, this is some crazy ass rat. And
I've seen that rat in the East Village.
I've seen it run up people's legs. She gets another like crazy. There's another crazy puppet. The mouses. What's the plural? The mice. Mice.
The meese.
The mices. When they get squished, they have green blood. The mice, yeah, when they get squished, they have green blood, and it's just the end. It's just like this terrifying, chaotic scene of mice and green blood. And yeah, how did you feel about the the ending when all the witches have been turned to mice? And then we eventually get like a happy ending, which we can get into before we finish.
I thought it was, I loved the kitchen scene, like the almost, where the rat, like the mouse, he runs up the legs of our dear beloved Mr. Carson.
His name is just Mr. Carson.
I don't know the actor's name. I forget. I told you I'm bad with actors' names.
It's okay. It's Jim something, I believe. Jim. I'll look it up right now. But you like that part when they were in the kitchen.
Yeah, when he was running around the kitchen and like was, evading all this types of danger. Like you could see that there was a witch in the kitchen working. She was like the soup maker, essentially. And then he had brought that potion down and got it right into that soup, just dropped it in.
Yeah, and it's like he just threw the potion bottles in there, and at like later when the witches are all transforming, one
has like a broken glass bottle.
She has a broken, like, how did you swallow that? Like, how did that even get in your mouth? If you would have seen that on your spoon, girl, watch what you're eating. You need to pay attention. Okay, the actor's name is Jim Carter.
Jim Carter. Okay.
Not Jimmy Carter, just Jim Carter. And he's married to Imelda Staunton. You know who that is?
I believe so.
Imelda Staunton, she's been in tons of stuff and plays and everything, but she played Dolores Umbridge in 2 Harry Potter movies.
Yes.
And that's pretty much the movie. Yeah.
Pretty much the movie, but it was definitely entertaining. Like I loved where he was trying to get the potion and there was the cat Liebchen, the cat.
The cat's name was Liebchen. I'm glad you clocked that. That's like, and I don't think that's something like our mom even, I think our mom has seen this, but like our mom she famously calls us both Liebchen.
Liebchen dolls, yeah.
Yes. The ending of the movie, it's the character of Luke is like fully resigned to being a mouse, and is fine because he's got this little Rube Goldberg thing going on in his house with his grandma, and he's cool with it. He's taking a nap in his little Ghostbuster house, and he's like, honestly, I'm fine being a mouse. And then you do see the grandma kind of getting sad because she's sad about this whole thing.
Yeah, she just kind of was like getting a little dementia, a touch of dementia in the end there. But
well, I don't think it was dementia. I think she was sad because, I mean, it's implied. It's not really laid out for you, but mice don't live that long.
Right.
Right. And this kind of goes into the ending of the actual book. So in the end, this is the main difference with the book and the movie. So in the book, there is no Jane Horrocks character, the blonde assistant. That is not like a thing. So that was something was created strictly for the movie. So there's no part in the end where she drives to the house in her convertible, zaps her witch lasers at the bedroom, and retransforms the mouse into Luke the boy before going off and I guess doing the same thing for Bruno. That's the happy ending that Jim Henson wanted. In the book, they get back from the seaside and then they're settling in, and it's just grandma and mouse living at home together. And grandma has a hard talk with them, and she's just like, hey, Luke, I hate to tell you this, but mice only live like 3 years max. And he's like, actually, I'm fine with that because you're old, right? So, and you have diabetes. Wait, you got to hear this. This is how the actual children's book that I read as a child ends. He's like, grandma, you're only going to live a couple more years. I don't want to live on this planet if you're not here. And she's like, I don't want to live on this planet if you're not here. You're my Luke. You're my special boy.
Oh.
And so at the end, they're just fine dying together. I mean, they don't actually like go through the death, but they're just like, yep, that's how it's going to end. I'm going to stay a mouse forever and then die in a couple of years. And then grandma's going to die in a couple of years. And then that's it. The end.
Wow.
Yep. So Jim Henson thought that was so dark. He was like, yeah, no, we got to retransform. So we have to have some sort of plot device in the form of like hot young Jane Horrocks assistant. Right. Like, and she was like, as we wrap up and talk about fashion, let me say her fashion, impeccable. These little Flora Laurel Ashley business suits, pink gloves. I was like, oh, I need some pink gloves. Look at that. So cute.
Right with the theming, you know.
Great with the theming. Yeah. Great like color
schemes.
Theory. Yeah, she was incredible. What were your favorite fashion moments to close?
Favorite fashion moments, I would say, obviously that of the witches, specifically Grand High Witch Angelica Houston's wardrobe. Very 80s, broad-shouldered, dark eggplant colored two-piece suit, power suits with a fashionable hat.
Oh yeah, you gotta have that hat.
You gotta have hats, hat boxes. Just her moody, dark but like rich looking color schemes. Like I loved her fits. Like I said, I clocked that she had Louis Vuitton trunk luggage in which she stored her faces.
I mean, if you're gonna put faces somewhere,
if you gotta put your face skin in a box, make it Louis Vuitton.
Make it LV, baby.
Yeah, a designer, preferably. And I loved like how her hotel room looked very lived in because she had like clearly like unpacked a lot of stuff. And when Mouse Puppet was running around, you could see
Mouse Puppet.
When Mouse Puppet Luke was running around, you could see like different shapes of the bottles. Like there was like one that looked like a bug. There was even the 500 dose rat transformation bottles. Like those were really cute.
I love that you keep calling it rat when they were clearly
mice.
It's just
whatever. I thought she said rat.
Her rat potion.
Yeah, that rat potion.
Yeah, it did. Like the production design was very good, and
and I guess also too, like if you think about it, like everyone's mouse, we'll say, or rat, looked much like the character. So like Luke being like orangey kind of color, like sandy colored hair. Angelica Houston's being like the creepy naked hag rat.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other ones like just looking kind of basic, nothing like out of the ordinary. But there was a lot of like, I guess you could say like different colors of the mice were
You're
let
like,
loose.
you love the witch diversity. You also love the mouse diversity.
Yeah, like it was like a good variety of small animals.
All right. You're like, thank you for not just having white mice. Because
Just like
that's
a bunch of white or gray ones. I feel like that would be kind of lame, you know?
right. So we love the mice fashion.
Yes.
We loved
I liked so like grandma got her finger cut off by a witch.
yeah, we never did mention that, but she did, because like that was like the undercurrent through the whole thing, that it's implied, or not implied, but outright said,
Mm-hmm.
that it seems like grandma was grandma.
Grandma.
She was the child that got away, and it's sort of implied that the Grand High Witch had something to do with it. They didn't really make it super clear, but they were just like, I think it's funny because the Grand High Witch was like, you know, like it's
Yeah,
like,
I wanted to know like what their lore was, and
yeah,
it wasn't brought up.
it wasn't really brought up. We just know that grandma lost a finger, and yeah, she doesn't like witches because of it. I do have to say, in the beginning, I really loved all of grandma's sweaters, all of those Scandi knits she had on. Yeah, in terms of fashion, like all the stuff in the beginning to the cozy, yeah, all the cozy cable knits, the dirndls and the braids and the caps and stuff like that. I really did love.
And like long forgotten parents. I liked her like drapery of of her dress too.
Oh yeah, she was very dynasty. Like it's very of that era. Yeah, like glamorous parents off to a party. Oops.
See you, bye.
See you, bye. Classic child book scenario, like dead parents and
an adventure.
Right. And now you're gonna die in like 2 years.
Oh God, that's so sad.
Sorry about it. Yeah, no, you can say that this movie is canon. You don't need to read the book. You also don't need to see, and I haven't seen it, the terrible remake, the apparently terrible remake.
I saw that when I was renting this, that there was a remake, and I was like, but why?
Apparently, I haven't seen it, but I did see some of the CGI. So basically, all those cool practical effects that we were just raving about, they just made it CGI, and it's terrible. And I'm just going to come out hard on this pod and be like, CGI, while I'm sure it has its uses.
Yeah, like in Fast and Furious, you know.
we should also review every single one. Maybe we can have a side pod called Too Fast, Too Family.
Oh yeah,
and we are actual family, and we love these movies. That is some lore about us.
That. I'm not opposed.
We're kind of breaking away from the molds, you know. It's fine. We can talk about things that bring us joy.
Yeah, but as far as I can say, I thought this movie brought me a significant amount of joy and or some terror as well.
I love that. It's terror season.
Yeah, it was definitely a great, scary, not so scary movie. It's a little bit creepy. Like you feel uneasy, like when you see all these witches, and you see, of course, the Grand High Witch, and you know, kind of go through Luke's journey as such a small being in a big world, you know.
That's what it's all about. It's about a little
stepped
kid
on.
Yeah. Oh my God. So much anxiety. I had anxiety watching this as a kid, and still anxiety now. I was just like, oh no, how terrible to be small. Yeah. And I've always had such a tender spot for little animals. And I was like, it's like even people who have little dogs like chihuahuas and stuff. I'm just like, you're going to sit on that. Like, I can't have a dog that small. It fills me with such anxiety.
Well, you make sure he has a special bed where he likes to lay on, and that's the special bed, you know?
I guess. Or you just keep him in a bag all the time. Just like
keep your mouse friend. Yeah. Keep your grandson in your purse.
Even that great big
fat friend.
I do love to, like, at the end of the movie, Bruno Jenkins' dad. It's like the mom is like, she's crying, but she's starting to accept But the dad who's been like a piece of shit for most of the movie is just like instantly like, I love my mouse son. And I love that. I don't know if that was like planned in there, but the actor
he really did appreciate him more. He's probably like, he's going to cost me less in food bills this way.
Right. If he's like a cheap guy. Yeah, that's what he said. He's rich, but he's tight. Like he's like, yeah, you're not gonna cost me. You're not gonna eat me out of house and home, Bruno.
Exactly.
What would you rate? We still haven't come up with a rating system. What is your rating? I guess we could like we did A through F last time. If we're rating this like a school paper, we're leaning into that nostalgia. What would you give it?
I would give it either a solid B+, A-.
Oh wow, you liked it way more.
I did.
Than I thought you would. I thought you would be kind of mediocre on it.
No, I liked it because I recognized a lot of the actors in it, and I thought the mouse puppet was so freaking cute. I thought the Grand High Witch was creepy. Ookie spooky.
She was ookie spooky. Wait, so you liked this movie more than The Neverending Story?
I did.
Whoa, this is so up. This podcast is just here to hurt me. This is just, I'm doing it to myself. You thought this was a better movie, than The Neverending Story.
I think in some ways that The Neverending Story kind of lacked like this. Also kind of flat. I don't know. There was like parts about it, obviously, like, you know, how you had mentioned like the insta bravery and like missing a couple things as far as plot goes, but it seemed pretty well rounded.
Okay.
Like there seemed like a, you know, the conclusion at the end too. I mean, obviously this was the director's choice, but you know, he was able to transform, and then apparently they're going to America.
Right. Oh, I left that part out. Yeah, no, that's not in the book either. That's just like a straight up movie thing where they're
like, should we do another one?
Yeah, setting him up for a sequel. It's like, maybe that was in their mind. They're like, oh, this is going to be a franchise.
Yeah.
The Witches. And he takes all of the Grand High Witches' money and is like, let's use this money to go on an American vacation.
Well, let's go to Disney now, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Grandma, let's go to Disney.
Yeah, that's a funny thing too, you know, just to touch on real quick that like the fact that Luke is American is odd because in the book, I believe he's British. I haven't read it in like 20 years.
Right.
But I think it's just weird because like his parents are, well, his grandmother is Norwegian. Mm-hmm. I don't know what his parents are. They sounded American for the 2 seconds they were on the screen. Right. And then Luke is hopelessly American. So it's like if he was raised in England,
I would assume he would have an accent.
I don't know. It's very unclear. But I think my point is all that's saying is I think that was probably a studio decision where they were like, okay, we want to really corner that American market. We have to have the kid actor has to be American. Yeah. Even if he's not that great. We couldn't get Culkin.
Yeah.
We couldn't get Culkin.
Couldn't get Culkin. Let's move on. Another blonde, put some glasses on and call it a day.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bang.
No, I like this movie a lot. I would definitely consider it a part of a good nostalgic spooky season rotation. I think it belongs in anyone's rotation.
Wow, that's a huge I think this pod's really going to be a journey for me figuring out like your taste, and I'm glad because I watched it and I was like, I don't know how she's going to like this. This might be a little too British, but no, you're into it. So we like the ookie spooky vibes, the fashion, the seaside setting. It all did it for you.
It did it for me for sure. I liked it. I like the mouse puppet.
Yo, I like that mouse.
I like the mouse puppet better than Falkor, but I think Falkor is still my favorite part of Neverending Story. Obviously,
yeah. No, he is the Neverending Story. He's definitely a great. It's all about that luck dragon. Any puppet, but yeah, mice puppet. That mouse puppet is definitely less sinister than Falkor. Falkor's, say what you will, he does have a bit of a creepy vibe, but that's fine.
With his blinky eyes.
His blinky eyes. Well, great. I'm glad you enjoyed another childhood classic. I feel like now I can reference it in front of you and you're going to know what I'm talking about. I was shocked like how many of the Grand High Witches lines I have internalized for me.
Like what?
Just like so there's a part where Mr. Bean as the hotel manager is like showing her the room, and just like these, I'm sure they're ad libs, but she's like, fine, fine, fine. She'll say stuff like that. She's like, fine, fine, fine. And I say that.
You do.
Even to this day. I was like, fine, fine, fine. Good, good, good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, just like sort
keep
of like
pushing. Yeah.
keep it moving. You know, honestly, she gave me the blueprint. Grand High Witch gave me the blueprint for life. And I'm just trying to
that's
follow
like who
in
I
her
want to
footsteps.
be, you know, in my 50s. Or possibly
and beyond,
you know,
and beyond. Who knows her age?
Right.
Who knows? Yeah, we all need to like lean into that glamorous bad bitch energy as we age, because like, why not?
Exactly.
What's the point? Otherwise, this is
what
great.
about you? Did you rate it high? Did you remember it as fondly as you?
That's great. That's a great question. I was gonna give it more of like a C plus B minus.
That's fine
for me. Just like I give it, you know, I'll push it to a B minus just because of the effects and the fashion. I think for me, script wise, it could have used some
tweaks.
Little
for sure.
tweaks.
I think if I rewatch it again, I'm sure I'll notice more of that. But seeing it for the first time, I was like, wow, this is cute.
Right. And I feel like, yeah, no, that's great. We both give it a rating. I like that you give your rating first because it's like the pure one. And for me, it's so like, you have to understand, like, I watch this movie dozens of times and have parts of it memorized, but have not seen it in so long. And it's like, it's funny how your memory changes things. It's like, oh, right, this was a really good part. This part, not so much. But overall, yeah, no, I'm going to say I'll settle on B minus. So this is, you know, I have it on DVD now.
Yes, you do.
I did. Yeah, it's funny. We're calling the pod VHS Sisters because, you know, that's kind of the theme.
That's like all of these movies were released on VHS before anything else, you know?
Right. That's the idea. But I just got this on DVD, and it's not even like a Blu-ray. It's like there are no chapters in it. It's just like play movie. Yeah. That's it. The end. Play movie. And you're done. So, but yeah, we can rewatch it. We have it on physical media now, which we are all going to need.
Yes. Well, I'm relying on you guys to preserve a good library for me.
Right. Yeah. No, I'll.
Because why would I have a copy if you have a copy? You know.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the point of being sisters.
It's true. That's the point of being sisters. That's a great place to end. So we're going to call it here. Tune in next time for the next crazy movie we're going to watch. Who knows what it's going to be, but it'll be good.
It'll be very good. And thank you so much for listening if you made it this far.
Thank you so much.
If you're curious, we will be posting more. And if you want to subscribe, we would love that.
If you want to give us a like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe so we can afford to go to the Seaside Hotel.
Oh, yeah, we should start a Patreon. That's how people make the big bucks.
That's true.
Anyway, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of VHS Sisters. We hope you've had a fun and cozy time. Please consider liking, leaving a review, and following us on your podcast platform of choice. If you'd like to chat with us, please email us at VHSsisterspodcast@gmail.com. Love you. Bye.